Good evening and welcome to another episode of Geared Toward Gear. My name is Sean, I'll be your host this evening, and I'm so glad that you're here. Tonight we're going to talk about what would happen, you guys, what would happen if a multi-tool and a box cutter or a razor knife somehow got together and had an adorable little baby that combined both tools into one. Is it even possible? It is. I happen to know for a fact that it is. And I'm going to show you how I know. Because I have that baby. I have the baby that they made. And I'm going to show it to you tonight. You already know what it is because you read the description, but I'm going to pretend like there's a little bit of mystery here. So let's real quick talk about multi-tools. It's anything that has multiple functions, right? So it could be a traditional platform or look like this Gerber suspension or any Leatherman tool, SOG multiplier, things like that. You know, big ones, little ones, Swiss Army knives, keychain, multi-function tools. It's anything that has more than one function, right? So those are all examples of multi-tools. And then you've got your box cutter or razor knife or whatever you want to call it. It goes by many names, but it's essentially one tool, a razor blade in any format. You've got folding, more modern versions that fold and lock and have pocket clips like this one from Milwaukee. You've got more industrial box openers such as this, some old school ones that look like this, but they're all single function, just a blade for cutting things and opening things. But what would happen, you guys, if they got together and did something? I don't know how it would work. It would probably be like that or something. But if they got together and had a baby, what would the baby look like? I know. It would be the Outdoor Edge slide winder. How cute is that, you guys? So let's get these out of the way. The Gerber suspension and the cheap box opener. And let's talk about the Outdoor Edge slide winder. So this is a multi-tool razor knife. As the packaging says, it is a utility blade multi-tool. That is how Outdoor Edge describes it. And that's a pretty good description, a utility blade multi-tool. So let's start with the utility blade because that's kind of the main functionality. And that's going to be right here. So just a small blade. I mean, it's a full-size blade, but it only comes out 3/4 of an inch. So not a ton of real estate there, but plenty, and I'll explain why as we move forward. And the way that works is by simply pressing the orange button and sliding it forward. Now, the orange button is supposed to be kind of a safety feature to keep it from deploying on its own. But what I found is that if you just push hard enough, which is not really hard at all, on this button here, it's going to open without using the orange button. So it's actually a lot easier to open that way. And to close it, again, just push the button and it retracts. It's got a spring here that is in tension when it's opened, right? So it's wanting to pull this blade back in, which is why you push the orange button and snap, it goes back in. Now the spring is at rest, and to open, again, push the orange button or just slide it on its track and it will lock in the open position. Changing the blade is quite easy. One thing that I hate about a lot of utility knives is that, for example, this kind of classic style, you need a Phillips drive to change the blade. That's stupid. Even a smaller, more modern, pocket-friendly razor knife like this from Gerber, which sucks because you can barely open it with one hand. And to change the blade, you have to use a flathead screwdriver to change the blade, which is ridiculous. I think this is a terrible tool. I bought it on a whim years ago, and it sucks. I don't remember what it's called, but it sucks. So if you see this, don't buy it. It's a piece of crap. So changing the blade on the Outdoor Edge slide winder is quite simple. You're going to pinch the blade very carefully, depress the orange button and hold it, and out comes your blade. Okay, so it's still in the forward position as if the blade was there, but now your blade's free. You can toss it safely, get a fresh one. Once you have a new blade, you will depress the orange button, hold it, slide your new blade in. You'll kind of feel it seat itself in there, and you're good to go. Brand new blade, push the button, it retracts. So very user-friendly for changing blades. I'll do that one more time, kind of quickly, so you can see how that works. It doesn't take much effort to change a blade on the slide winder. So I like that. It's very user-friendly for blade changes. So what makes it a multi-tool? Well, it's got 3 other tools. It has a flat-bladed screwdriver. It has a Phillips on this side, which if you flip the tool around, it's 3D machined, and it actually does work. I used it twice today on a Phillips drive, and it worked just fine. I was trying to put back a vent cover on part of my AC unit. But the Phillips works well. The flathead I have not tried, but I can imagine it would turn a screw just fine. And then your last function is going to be the bottle opener. So you can open your favorite beverage. And because it has a steel stonewashed liner on one side, you're going to get that strength for opening bottles. I didn't open any bottles with it. My only concern is that the front scale being plastic, my concern would be that if you open bottles with any regularity, that eventually the plastic portion of the bottle opener may crack, but it sits just below the steel portion, so it may hold up. I'm not sure. I don't drink, so I probably won't be using that function too often, but it's there if you want it. So you've got a bottle opener, a flathead, a Phillips, and a razor knife in a 3-inch overall length package that weighs 1.5 ounces and costs $10. So a pretty neat little tool. It comes in 3 colors. The first one I bought was black, which is right here. And this is the one I messed around with for a few days. And after realizing that I liked it and thought it had its place in my life, I bought the blue and the orange. So these are the 3 colors that it's available in. Again, me being me, I have to have all 3 colors if it's a tool that I really enjoy. And blue and orange happen to be my favorite colors, generally speaking, with folding knives and things like that. So 3 color options. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that's my dog drinking water out of a bowl. Totally not cool and very just not cool, Fenway. I apologize for that delay in programming. Just very inconsiderate of her to think that she can drink water whenever she's thirsty. That's just not cool. But now she's done drinking, so we can get back to it. So you got black, blue, and orange. Plastic scale on one side, stonewashed stainless on the other, pocket clip, which is quite functional, and a few tools and a razor knife, a razor blade. So I think it's got its place in an EDC rotation. It's not going to replace necessarily your main blade or your main folder, but it could. I mean, I use this for a few things. I use the Phillips drive on my my AC filter cover, and I used the blade a few times. One to open these 2 when they arrived. I opened the Amazon box with this, and then I opened the packaging that these came in, which looks like this. It's kind of a clamshell style packaging. So I opened the Amazon box, then I opened these 2, the other colors. I opened a letter, which I don't generally do, but being tax season, I got a tax document in the mail, and I wanted to make sure I didn't cut the actual contents. So I used that as a letter opener. So a neat little tool, very really ergonomic actually, even for someone like me with big hands. It's got this little finger choil up front, a spot for 2 more fingers here, and some jimping on the top of the frame. And in conjunction with that flathead, it creates kind of this thumb ramp here, so you actually get a good purchase on it. So with the blade in its open position, perfectly comfortable and easy to manipulate safely. And again, just quickly tap that button and it's going to retract itself. So that is the Outdoor Edge slide winder. I think it certainly has its place either in your EDC rotation as a main cutting implement option or in some other kit or bag. But I just thought it was neat and wanted to share it with you guys. So thanks so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, like the video, give me a comment, and we do have a giveaway coming up soon. So hopefully you can get in on that if you're not already subscribed. With that said, again, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video.